Test, test. Hey folks, how's it going? It is Wednesday. Made it halfway through the week already. I've decided to put on a button shirt. It feels a bit more casual. Even though shirts tend to be a bit more smart. But to me it feels more casual because it's a nice baggy shirt. But I hope you've all had a good week so far. We're doing some game dev as usual on a Wednesday. Just having a quick look up on something. But yeah, so thank you all for being here. Sorry I'm a little bit late. I was trying to sort something out before the stream. Let's have a quick look. Unity. Is it destroy? Destroy. Destroy. How do you destroy an object? It is quite literally just destroy brackets game object. As easy as that. Cool. Just going to drop that into this thing here. And so let's go give this a quick test. Yeah, it's been a pretty good week generally speaking. Can't complain. You can complain a lot about a lot of things. But I shall not. I shall try to see the positives. There's always positives. It's not to say you should ignore the negatives. Negatives in life kind of help drive you sometimes, so it's worth having them. But don't let them get you down, of course. Just checking some figures here. Okay. I'm not going to show what I'm up to just yet. Just need to load some things. But we're welcome to have a chat. But yeah, I'm quite excited about what I can do with Unity now. It's making a lot more sense. It's making more sense. Now where is that information? It's in there, isn't it? Am I doing the right thing here? Probably it needs to do that. I think that's what I need to do. I've got Botrix is loaded. It's good to have the bots. I need to do something with Botrix. I've got it loaded there mainly for. It's doing a bit of YouTube stuff, but I'm not really doing much with YouTube. But I need to start having more interactive stuff. What's that? Artifacts. What's up? I'm going to assume that's a processing error. We'll move on from that one. Okay, that's doing a thing now. Cool, we'll get the game loaded then. Close this bit. Yeah, so my week's been pretty eventful, I suppose, in some ways. So mainly around cars. Cars are a big headache. I like to just sort of... I like cars and I like being able to use the cars, and I can't do both. I can't do either at the moment. I can't use a car, and can't appreciate or even look at cars really. Which is a shame. But in 2 weeks' time, fingers crossed, we should be all sorted. Just getting Unity open. Before I'll start my stream a little bit before, so I can talk to you while I finish this off. So I might as well. So if you're in Unity, it does take a little bit of time to load up all the bits inside. Come on, Unity. But yeah, I think I'm going to ignore the artwork for this Revolt Overthrow for the time being, and just get the mechanics done, because there's a few things I just want to finish off, and once the mechanics are done, so it's just copy pasting in different graphics, so that's not really an issue. So yeah, I'll probably look at making a second level today. But I'll just have to have a look at what is left. So a quick look what's left of my process. Did I even do an update? I didn't know. Because most of it is just make graphics. Got a little bit of music playing in the background in my ears. It just sounds a little bit weird. In which case, yeah, I'll let you guys hear it as well. Just tittering away in the background. Oh yes, I know what I need to do on that. Right, let's get some script open. Scripts. And then that should be everything needed for the stream. We're going to be getting going half an hour late. No one's popped in to say hello in the live stream yet, but if you're lurking, hello, welcome. Thank you for the lurk. I hope you're enjoying listening to my voice, whatever you're up to right now. Or if you're just keeping my channel open, I really appreciate it. Right, well, that's doing a thing. Let's go to the main screen. There we are. And let's get Visual Studio on the screen. There it is. Awesome. Right, we can minimize that. Actually get going with the stream as scheduled. Right. So one thing I want is probably tweak this power bar. I was working with the UI off stream. So I wanted this UI to kind of fit more neatly on the screen, no matter how big the screen was. And I kind of want to also probably launch the rocket on release of the key. So probably this controller here. Probably set that as 0 to start with. Let's go to canvas, power meter, power slider, fade duration. So what that's about. Got all these kind of interesting fun things we can do with a power slider. Press color, selected color, disabled color, target graphic, color tint, interactable, visualize. So the value, we'll set the value down to 0. So it starts off as 0. And probably the space bar, I think. If I change it so hit it, holding the space bar applies power and releasing the space bar actually launches. So let's go for that. Let's save what we're doing on here. At the moment we got W and S, and we only really want probably A and D and then spacebar. So let's go to the UI controls here. It's probably keyboard controls, there we are. So if move input, because at the moment I'm using it as a move input. So you've got launch input. So if launch input, that's when we want to do this thing really. Fixed update. If launch input launch input false. So on launch input, okay, here. Right. So we don't want it to look down. So we can hide this bit for now. That's fine. So move input Y. So on move input, if move input Y is greater than 0 and moved, what's moved? Moved is false. So if there is an input, so the move input is only really going to be for left and right now. So we kind of just want to do this reticle up. And we want to kind of have we want a flag, a boolean, to say we've hit the launch input, and while the launch input continues to be entered, continue to increase the power. But as soon as we stop, we want to then actually launch it. Human! Hey Jeffrey, how's it going, dude? Good to see you. Hope you're having a good Wednesday. I've got the codes files, I just need to send them over to you. epic. Obviously I can send you the whole project, but sort of my project isn't going to be like what your project was. So probably better to build your project and then just copy the code in to get back to the stuff where you were typing. But as far as creating stuff and dragging it, that's pretty quick to do anyway. But I don't have your video and all that, so that's going to have to be built regardless. We'll be lurking a bit. Uno wants to play. Oh, awesome. Yeah, go play with Uno. By the way, I haven't even checked if it's saved. If it's saved or... Ooh. Yeah, definitely. Once you have it restored, then definitely save it somewhere else. My games were all saved. I only had to reinstall. iTunes was still saved as well. That's good. There's some ways you can actually get it to hold stuff, and then sometimes Windows just wipes everything. I sell emotes and Uno likes. Those are cool Uno emotes. They're the best emotes on Twitch. Ooh, Dr. Pepper gives me a bit of gas there. Do enjoy a glass of Dr. Pepper very occasionally, but very gassy. Also playing Kingdom Come 2. Ooh, what's it like? I wanted to get the first one, and then I never got around to it, and then I noticed, oh, the second one's coming up. I like the idea of like a first-person game with a sword. Just being like a medieval knight. That idea was really intriguing to me. Because you see like first-person shooters. So they're everywhere. Think of a first-person Witcher, but realistic, no magic. Nice. Like, Witcher's cool and all, but sometimes you don't want full fantasy. You want a little bit of just kind of like adventure, I suppose. It's more of a simulation, I suppose, in some ways. Like it's kind of more period accurate to what was going on. Obviously, there's some kind of fantasy in there, but there's things like Skyrim and Witcher look at that kind of theme, but then add their own magical elements. I like games that are based on that. That's why I kind of went straight in the castles for this idea of like throwing rocks at a castle, because castles are cool and trebuchets are cool and all the medieval kind of stuff. But yeah, a big fan of castles and wizards and all the kind of tales of Merlin and the Knights of the Round Table, King Arthur, all the good British stuff. But I know Europe, as far as castles go, is more fairy tale, especially ones in Germany. Like, I've seen some castles, pictures of castles in Germany, and they go, yeah, that is just fairy tale castle. It doesn't look real to start with. But then I know a lot of old fairy tales come from German stories, so it makes sense. But yeah, enjoy your lurking stuff, of course. Play with Uno, play games, have fun. So that is the thing I want to run when I let go of this. So I kind of let's probably make another one here. Let's make a private. No, make it public so I can see it, I suppose. Public Boolean powering up and make that equal false to start with. Powering up. So I'm not sure if that launch input will also be used, but we'll do this powering up equals true. So this sets true. That will be reset to false. So if powering up, I suppose let's put it just above. If powering up, but launch input is false, so and not launch input, that means we've stopped powering up and we want to launch. When do you have time for the next coding session? Let's have a looky. Well, this weekend could be busy. Next weekend could be busy. I might be able to do something in the afternoon this coming weekend, actually. So basically the sort of time that we have been before. Because I have an eye test. I was going to test my eyes to see if they work in the morning. But after lunch, definitely do something after lunch. Yeah, that's fine. Cool. Yeah, so we can aim for the same sort of time whenever you're free. But yeah, I'll be going to get my eyes checked in the morning. Now I'll come home and I'll eat. And then I should be ready to have a look. I don't think we would need too much more time on this, to be honest, because you're pretty much there. I have -1 and -0.75 eyes. Ooh. Mine are... What are mine? Mine aren't great. Mine aren't great at all. I think one is -5 and the other one is -4.75. So one eye is more blind than the other. Only slightly, but then that's the same with you with the 1 and the 75. It's easier for me to be without glasses than it is for you, it seems. Oh yeah, if I take these off, I can't read chat. I can barely see my camera. So all the text is just a coloured dotted lines. It looks like pretty lights. Like all the text on my screen is just coloured dots. So I really cannot see without the glasses. Ah, there we go. There you all are. Yeah, I can get myself around and stuff without glasses. But if I have to actually see any detail, like reading a text or going to pick something up, like the annoying thing is I can't find my glasses without my glasses. Unless they're on a surface which is a lot lighter, because my glasses are dark. If I put them on a light surface, I can see the colour contrast and go, ah, that is where my glasses is. But if I put my dark glasses onto a dark surface, then I can't see them. Which is not good when my carpet is dark. So if my glasses fall onto the carpet, then I can't see them unless I see like a bit of light shining off them. But my table at the side here, next to where I sleep, is like a bright beach sands coloured colour. so that's easy to see everything, including dirt, unfortunately. But the main thing is I can see my glasses when I wake up in the morning. But I've been lucky I've not had to go without the glasses. These are actually broken. This actual frame is quite a fancy frame because it's got a bar across the top here, and then the actual arms, and the lenses are kind of stuck on the back of the bar, so it looks like there's nothing holding the lens on. It's just like a very thin wire that loops around on both sides that holds them in place. But when they're stuck at the top here, it's come away, like the welding of the metal has come away here. So yeah, they're slightly a weird angle on my right eye. But this coming Saturday, I'll check to see if my eyes are still okay, and I'll probably have to buy new glasses. I could try and get these ones repaired, but the lenses are scratched, so I'm going to have to get new lenses anyway. So if I'm getting new lenses and these ones are broken, my actual frame is broken, I might as well get everything new. I'll see what they have. The only thing is, I think these cost me about £90 because I went for like a really nice design. You can pick them up for about £40 if you really don't care what they look like, but I thought, you know what, I'll have something fancy. I'm wearing these 90% of my waking life. It's better to have them look nice. So if we then do that, so we won't launch the rocket at that point. Nice. Nice indeed. So it's launching, so that, and then it's powering up but not launching, it then launches rock. Okay. I have my glasses on now, but I never wear on stream. No, I don't think I've ever seen you with your glasses. Since I only see bad far. Ah, yeah. Yeah, it's like, if I take these off, so I think you barely see me with them. I probably haven't when I met you since I walked outside. Ah, yeah, quite possibly. I don't remember a lot. I was quite spaced out. But we made pics. Yes. We could maybe find them. True. Yeah, I think they might be in Discord somewhere. But yeah, if I take these off, yeah, my vision is about there. I have about that much vision where I can see clearly, and then anything beyond that is not clear. So it's, yeah, you're probably looking about 10 centimeters from my face in front of me that I can see clearly without glasses. But I can survive. I just can't read or see anything in the close distance. What we want to do this. So if I go moved false, that's moved. Put those in there. So false, false. Let's see how that works. That might work. It might not. Let's reload everything. Save the game in case this majorly crashes. Did not like that. Coop. Message by owner. It means buy. Aha. I do not know what, but Uno wants you to buy something. You should buy it, definitely. Uno is the great salesman. You must buy now, buy many. Great investment. Such wow. Right, we have a problem with that code. So move is false. Countdown length. So maybe that needs to be there as well. Because otherwise that's exactly the same as it moving up. Maybe that needs to go after that, because that's checking it. Though that's also... no. No, because it will have a... the launch input will be there. And we want powering up to be false, because at that point we've actually said we've launched. It might specifically be like an on key up that I probably should be using. And say on key up launch, and then on key down power up. Okay, let's see if there's a non key up that we should use instead. So let's go public void on launch launch input. Let's have a look. Let's save that. Go to our input controls. So I might have to define the key up as a function. Keyboard controls. Open input settings. Can't see that on the stream, of course, but so see if we can find something. Input manager. Size, so horizontal, vertical, fire. Fire. Launch. There's the launch. So name is launch. Joystick button 1, gravity dead, sensitivity snap, invert, axis, x-axis motion, more joysticks. up, down. Down is space for that for some reason. Let's have a quick Google. Maybe there's something I'm missing. So we want on the key up. Let's have a look. Unity key up. Oh, on key holds, anything? How to detect a key is held. Maybe something worth looking at. See if there's a better method. So the thing with coding, and it obviously extends to game design, is that there's never just one way of doing things. There's probably the industry standard way of doing things. There's probably the most common way of doing things. But there might also be the quickest way of doing things. But not necessarily, none of them are bad. There's some are not. Heyo! How's it going, dealer? Good to see you. Hope you're having a good Wednesday. How's your monster addiction going? You still drinking the monsters? Can't beat a bit of pipeline punch though. I've been drinking Sneak at work. I get through about 2 shakers because it's a powdered drink that you add to water. I get through 2 shakers a day at work, and that's just enough to keep me focused. Chugged a Lewis Hamilton and fell asleep. I feel that. Good old caffeine nap. Yeah, if I have a cup of tea, I usually fall asleep for the caffeine. So I need to have a lot of caffeine not to fall asleep. So like a lot of caffeine in one sharp go. But I'm not to the stage where I can drink a whole energy drink and then fall asleep. Like having a little bit of caffeine allows me to fall asleep. But having a lot of caffeine will kind of like make my brain buzz enough that I'll probably relax, but my head won't. Like my body relaxes, but my head just goes nuts. So if input get key. So I wonder if key codes. I want to clarify, key down only runs once on the first frame. The key was pressed. Key up only runs once when the first frame of the key was released. So key up. So get key up is probably what I need. My physics teacher might be dying. Oh no! Sorry to hear that, either. I'm assuming they've got a like a terminal illness. It's very sad to hear. Input get key up. Let's double check back here. She already smells like a cadaver and she has tumours in her hands. Ooh. Yeah, it does not sound pleasant at all. Yeah, it's having tumours in any way or form is not a pleasant experience. Not that I have personally, nor do I hope I ever do, but with the way life is, it's probably one of those things that will happen. But try and live as healthy as I can, and we'll see what happens. Okay, so I might be able to do this here. Okay, if get input key space. do this. So rather than this launch business, do that. Comment that so it doesn't run anymore. Dying of natural causes is dying because your cells aren't regenerating properly, and that's just cancer. A lot of cancer. True. Yeah, cancer is a malfunction of the sort of human regeneration. Dutch favourite swear words, yes indeed. I can understand it being a pretty hard swear word because it's a pretty hard thing to have. Key up. Get key up. Get key up. So rather than all these booleans and stuff, we can just read the keys directly. In which case, let's just do that. Save that. See if this works better. Yeah, I know that's not used. If you get yellow text down the bottom here, it's just kind of being a friendly reminder to go, by the way, you have some code that isn't actually doing anything. It might just be wasting resources, which is cool. Thank you, Unity. I'll have a look at that later. It's not concerning me. We'll look at it next Saturday. Oh no, didn't say my projects. Oh no. Yeah, we'll look at it Saturday. We'll get you back up to speed. As long as you have your art, which I'm assuming is on your Mac, and your music and stuff, which again, yeah. So it'd just be just the Unity stuff. That's the main thing. Because all your objects on the left-hand side here, that doesn't take very long to make. They're just a thing that you place on the screen, and then it's all the content that matters, like the code, the images, the music and stuff. So these objects are pretty quick. So the idea being that if you can make as many of these ready to go, you can throw them in there pretty quickly, which is what I've done with this. Like a lot of these I need to refine. I've kind of like refined as I've gone, made them a bit more streamlined, less complicated, and that means once they are refined, I can make level 2, level 3, level 4 without having to do much complicated stuff because it's all there. I just kind of put it where I want it. It's kind of like having building blocks, I suppose. You make the building blocks and then they're just there for you to make houses. I forgot what an array was before making half a clicker game. So now I have a bajillion variants. Oh, yeah, well, it works. If it works, either. If it works, it works. It's not the most efficient or the most cleanest, but it works. But obviously an array is better on the memory because it holds it all in one place and you can reference it with a loop a lot easier. So all that kind of stuff makes life more efficient. But it's not wrong. It's not wrong to use a bajillion variables. Okay, so it's not launching, but it's powering up. Maybe I need to change the rate at which it powers up. So as long as I'm holding down the key, it goes up. But it's not launching, so get key up space. But let's read what it says on this thing again. So it says, get key up only runs once on the frame that the key was released. But that's not seem to be happening. The language I use makes you store the variables somewhere manually, so it's like 5 lines per variable. Ooh, okay, yeah. I'm going to remake this completely. Yeah, you consider what you've done so far as the prototype, the first draft of the code, and there's a name for updating code, and it's called refactoring. So refactoring code means you take something, you go, I can make this more efficient. I can do stuff with this to make it better, and it's referred to as refactoring. And it can be even like as something like going, well, this section here, if I'm calling these 5 lines of code more than once in different places, then I'd make this a function, and I would call it as 1 line of code and have a function down here that runs these 5 things. And that makes it more efficient because you only have 1 line every time you call these 5 lines. And if you change anything, it changes it down here, and it gets changed for everywhere that you run those 5 lines. Rather than go, I need to change this one here, and then find it up here, change it there. But yeah, because that's a move up. So if I wanted to keep both of these, I'd probably change this to a single function, and then call the function. And that would, as I say, that would be refactoring it. And I do that quite often at work when I'm looking through code for my my work projects. You know what? That's actually, it would make sense, rather than copy and pasting this every time, just make a function that does it once and then call that function. I did that today actually. I've been making Excel spreadsheet reports, like exporting data from our database at work. And every time I'm exporting data, I have to go through the same process of establishing a handle on Microsoft Excel, and then assigning things like the sheet to a variable, and then sort of saving like the document name. And every time I do it, it's the same lines of code. So today I actually took the header, made that into a function, took the footer, made that into a function, and had the variables kind of called within itself, within the actual class. So when you call the class, you set the variables with the header, you finish the whole thing with the footer, and all you do then is write what's unique for that data report, and just insert the header function and the footer function, and all you're doing is changing the bit that's unique in the middle. So that's going to save a lot of lines of code, and me maybe accidentally not copying all the lines I need to the next one before I start doing it. So that makes my life easier, makes my job more efficient. But you only know that after you've done it a couple of times and you see patterns. You go, I am doing the same thing here. Or I'm doing something very similar, that I could take 2 things that are very similar and make them both efficient to the point that they are the same thing, and then call it multiple times rather than having separate bits doing pretty much the same job. Now, of course, if the job is too unique between the 2 things, they have to be 2 things that do separate jobs. But if you think, well, if that one job can help many places in the code, then you just call it every time you want it to do that particular job. But you get, that comes with experience. You kind of like look at the code and go, hang on a minute, I'm doing the same thing on multiple bits of script. I might as well just make a separate bit of script that does that, and then call it every time I want to do it. But you don't know that until you've got so far, unless you sit down there and plan every single thing you're going to do before you start writing code, which is what they tell you to do when you're learning stuff. You must sit there and write it down on a piece of paper, what you want to do with the code, what the code's going to be doing afterwards, what data you'll be using with the code, and you write it all out, and then you go and make the code. Realistically, you don't always know what you want the code to do until you start writing it. You can have an idea, but then you go, actually, I didn't think of this. I need it to do something else. But rather than rewriting all this paperwork you've done, you just do it as it is. Make one Python file with a trillion if statements. That just does everything. It would take 3 hours to execute, but still, I don't know what half my code does while I'm writing it. But yeah, again, that's not incorrect either. You can do that. But as you say, that it's not efficient. The running time will be quite slow. But then you look at it and go, well, what can I do to make this faster? Like the Python files I've written for one of our systems, I've actually made separate Python files for different jobs. And each of those files get called in to the main file as they're needed. So if I want to change something about a certain aspect, I open that particular Python file, and that everything to do with that type of processing is in that one file. So I don't have to search through like lines and lines to find the function. I just go through the main thing and go, that's the function it calls. That function is in this file. Open that file and edit it. And every time I want to run that function, it's there in the other Python file. So I only did that again after writing it all as one single Python file and go, you know what, I can group things together in their own Python files and then call that file in as a reference. And yeah, it made life so much easier. Especially when duplicating across multiple machines. So you just copy a series of files, one by one if it needs to be. Because I've been copying between Raspberry Pis, and it's not always easy to copy files between Raspberry Pis. So if you can do it in snippets, little bits, and then just check they're all there, that seems to be the best way I've found. But yeah, as far as not knowing what half your code does, it depends if you've written it knowing at the time and then you forget afterwards, which I sometimes do. So it's trying to form the habit of writing comments. And go, okay, this bit here I only vaguely understand, but I'm going to write a comment so I remember what I do know about it. And when I come back to it, go, oh yes, of course, that's what that was doing. And I should go through all this code and like comment it. Like this here, called when we press the interact key, called when we press the movement key. It does what I want it to, but I have no idea what it works, and if I change anything breaks. Yeah, not having that knowledge, and especially if it's so messy, trying to change anything becomes near impossible. Or you try and do something extra, add something in, go, well, here's a thing doing what I want, I'll use it, but then not realise where else it's being used, and later down the line you go, I need this to do this now, and you don't know you've actually used it somewhere else. You change it and it's no longer doing what is needed for the other thing. I've done that before and go, why is this broken? And go, oh, of course I've used that in this as well. That function's been used elsewhere. The good thing with Visual Studio, it does tell you, it goes, this function has been used by the following things. You go, brilliant. Get key up. If input key, let's put an else in there. down? Just out of interest. So we're no longer holding the key, just make it go down. Like the moved things in the launcher will become redundant. But once I know what bits of code will work, I'll take out the bits of code I don't actually need. Make it more efficient. Well, that kind of works in some ways. It goes up and then drops. It's just getting that launch to go. I have no idea how my body does what it does, but I built up my caffeine immunity in a total of 5 days. Ooh, that's not good either. Now, caffeine immunity is not great. It's just kind of slowly kind of weaning yourself back down again. We've done something that doesn't quite do what we want. So let's delete this. Delete these flags here because they're not really doing much there. And let's comment those in case there's interference. Yeah, so we've only got one thing handling the spacebar now rather than two, in case that was upsetting it. Well, the left and right keys are broken now. Well, I know how to kind of have a Flappy Bird kind of thing now by holding down the key. Not quite the mechanic I was going for. Right, we'll comment now because don't feel that's useful. Let's remove that. Cool. So it's happy I'm not unusing stuff now. So move is false if move input magnitude countdown. Countdown is count length. It's 3, so then it counts down. Right, see if that makes any difference there. So we can move left and right now, that's good. Oh, we might have cracked it. No. have to double tap it. Okay. I wonder if we move this code above this code here. So it's reading that first. We'll delete these lines here. Don't need those. Clean that up. Don't really need that either now. So we're just moving left and right. Oh, did I delete the wrong one? I think I might have did. Yeah, X and Y we need to. It's the X we need to remove, but the left and right we need to keep in there. Got to walk the dogs, give Ozzy his medicine, be right back, okie dokie. Hope you have a good dog walk. My Dr. Pepper gone. It's very nice. A limited edition cherry Dr. Pepper. Coffee prices are increasing apparently. Oh no. I think, well, prices of most things are increasing, unfortunately. Depends if it's a supply thing or whether it's just a general economy. Supply. I'm thinking I might need these. Need these flags still. And the silly tariffs posed by the Trump administration. Yeah, that's going to go. Well, it's already starting to bite him because other countries are kind of putting their tariffs up against America. So it's only going to make everyone's life more expensive, which is the exact opposite of what he was supposed to be doing. Shock and horror. So that looks a bit cleaner. I think powering up probably can use that now. So if key, so powering up equals true because we're holding the key down. So powering up equals false. The thing is, the American population wants change ASAP, and that's not possible with how the government was set up going back 300 years. Now, seems to be the same with any kind of country, though, isn't it? it's very hard to change direction with any government. Obviously, some change can happen quicker. Like what Trump has done is made some very big changes very quickly. But even those are going to start taking some time to actually fully affect. And for some of them, it'll be too late before people realise they have taken effect. Going to go Liberal Republican in circles, and nothing ends up happening. Yeah. Like, so they're going, well, they didn't do anything, so we'll go back to this type of government. Well, they don't do anything, let's go back here. But yeah, neither side actually fully realises their ideas, or they just kind of stall for time, never get it done anyway. Romania is even worse. Oh yeah, sorry to hear that. They had to cancel the election to prevent a dictatorship. Oh, no, that really isn't good. So it's shocking to hear that there's that kind of stuff can still happen, but in our countries, I know, which pretty much work in a dictatorship. And the fears are that America will go that way. Let's go if I think Biden was spot on when he said it was turning into a oligarch. Can never say the word. Oligarchy. I think that's about as close as I can get. But yeah, it's run by the rich people. But then a lot of governments seem to go that way. Like the UK isn't quite there, but it wasn't too far off of the Conservative government. Because to be in the Conservative government, you pretty much have to have money. Like it's the party of money. So they basically look at keeping money in the hands of people who have money, and don't want people without money to have money. Wasn't there a period where people got arrested for saying far right stuff online? True, yeah. Yeah, there's sort of that. There's there's kind of certain rules in sort of how you conduct yourself and how you share opinion. Because if a certain opinion actually represses other people's rights, then it ends up getting looked at by certain authorities. At least it was at one stage. Now they've tried to make it so you can say anything you want without oppression, even if it does remove other people's rights or targets minorities. Which I can understand, yeah, you don't want censorship, but you also don't want people being targeted. And you have to kind of have the right balance of going, well, yes, you're having an opinion, but you're not allowed to target other people. Unless, of course, those people you're targeting are indeed targeting further people. Powering up is true. because this key up's not doing what I want it to do. It's supposed to grab it on the first frame that the key goes up. It's not doing that. So if it's powering up, it's true. So we want to, so if it is powering up and let's go put another variable in here. So we've got powering up false, public bool launch rock equals false. I shaved and look about 10 years older than I am. 10 years older by shaving. Now, I'd end up looking 10 years younger if I shaved. Which is better than the unshaven, twice divorced look. Oh dear, yeah. Yeah, it's unfortunate some people carry facial hair differently. So we go launch rock equals false. True. Set it to true. So we go, yes, launch the rock, but if we're powering up still, we want to make it false. So kind of like delay launching, we're still powering up. We'll comment that out for the moment. Yeah, I definitely would look younger if I shaved, because this obviously makes me look a bit more of an older guy. But then I don't know. I don't think I want to see what's in there because there's a bit of a double chin going on where I've lost weight. So it's probably best not to shave. I really get ID'd outside my village, so that's not bad. Yeah, so not having to get ID'd. The wise wizard look transcends age. It does. I'm definitely going for the wise wizard look. Fully embracing the wise wizard. So powering up and launch rock. So it says, yep, launch the rock and go up. Nope, delay launching the rock. I'm still holding the powering up. Then we go and power up equals false, because we're actually launching the rock. And we want to actually launch the rock. So as it goes through, it goes, yes, launch the rock. Am I still holding the key down though? If so, delay launching the rock. But then it goes, actually, no, don't delay it. Have we been powering up? Yes. I got to launch the rock. Yes. Say that we're no longer powering up. And we don't need to reset launch the rock, because it will go back to true again anyway after that. So see if this works. Rather than key up, let's just do it through Boolean switches. So we can go left and right, power, release, resets, power, release, power, release. I think we might have it. We might need to slow down the power build up. That's the only thing. Sick. Thank you. Because that power build up's pretty swift. You can also use this framework to make able true. Yeah, I kind of took the idea of like a pool mechanic That's the only thing. You still push it after you've launched that. So it should really kind of stop reading input once it's launching. But then it all depends if I want to like redirect it. So like power it up and then quickly redirect. But certainly lock the spacebar control once it hits launch, because there's no real benefit to continuing to power up, because it's going to reset once the rock resets anyway. Yeah, that launch button down there obviously only launches, it doesn't power up, so I need to change the code behind that launch button. But the spacebar, hold down to power up and release to launch, definitely works now. So that's going to add a certain element of trial and error, a bit of skill, if you will, as to hitting things now. So you can't just set the power and just keep firing. You have to kind of reapply the power each throw. Depends how good your visual memory is to remember where the slider finished up when you hit something you want to hit. So it's kind of a little bit of trial and error going, okay, that was too high, that was too low. Apply a little bit more power and we should get where we want. Is there a limit to the rotation? There is. I'll lock it to go that far left and to that far right. And do a 360 killing blow, 360 no scope with a trebuchet. But no, I have locked the left and right because it basically means I don't have to worry about building any level behind the camera. So I only have to build like 360 degrees of level, because the player will never see what's behind. It's all... Oh, it's doing that thing again. It's got the bug where it's if this control gets selected, the A and the D keys seem to add and remove, but I can also do this with a mouse slider, so I probably need to, so I could do that for instance. Could also put Eldritch Horror behind the player so they don't want to look back. Or was that PT? Was it that game that was constantly being followed by something? But I could do like a Cthulhu tower, I suppose. Like a have a special zone where it's actually you've reached the depths of a realms. But yeah, at the moment the mouse can select this, and you can click the buttons here for finer control. So I need to decide what I want to do with the controls. Do I want it so you can use touch? Because if I make this mobile friendly, you're going to have to be able to touch and hold this for that to power, and then not have it selectable like that. Trebuchet skills are so mighty, Outreach gods want you to join them. Yeah? Well, yeah, you could be on the side of them. Yeah, I think I need to make this unselectable, so you can't just go, I want more power, I want less power. So it kind of defeats it a little bit. Especially when it has the bug of left and right changing it. Oh, we have one left somewhere. Never find it. It's usually in the window because I can't see it. Could well be down the bottom there. No. Too much power. Still too much power. Is it right in that top corner there? Because it's got a shadow there. I've got the power. Great tune. Love the music from the 90s. I'm really stuck. Not sure where the last one is. Be a lot easier when it's full screen, of course. I'm playing it in a tiny window. And obviously for you guys it's even tinier. There it was. Completed in 7 minutes 24. I've not decided whether I want a bonus if you can actually hit the wavy hand. I do want to have like Easter eggs, so if you hit certain things it kind of does other stuff. Okay, so I want to change this control then. So the power meter slider, we don't want it to be selectable. Interactable, no. I mean, it's impressive they survived a house falling on, yeah. You'll give them some credit for that. So that power meter should no longer be interactable, but should be able to change it through the code like I am. So let's see if that works. Okay, so that still works okay. Can I touch it? No. And clicking on it and moving left and right doesn't change it. Cool. Right. So that's now literally only a visual representation of the power, and it's not actually a control anymore. You could post this to itch when it's done. Might increase your reach. Yeah, I was planning to actually do that. I was going to post it on to itch, maybe even like a donation where it's just completely free. Just to get some people to play it, to be honest. This is completely a test project anyway. I don't have it in any way or form any idea that this is a high quality game. I suppose it kind of, that's to put myself down a little bit, but so my level of quality on this isn't as high as it could be. I played a dog awful RPG Maker game. 500 a month on Patreon. Wow. There's some people that will support that. Yeah, I think I'll probably do myself a discredit that. As long as I put enough content into this, I think people would see value in it. At the moment it has one level. That has no value. Well, even that, I should say, has value as a single level game. So you can replay it as any time as you want and see if you can do it quicker. But the challenge doesn't really get any harder or change. It's just trying to see where all the squares are. Every asset is drawn in MS Paint. Wow, that's impressive, I suppose, in some ways. But I can also imagine what it looks like. But you can do some pretty decent assets in MS Paint. Like the ability to do pixel art is obviously there. You can do a full high quality pixel art. Or you could just do a very crappy kind of sort of drawing anyway. Right, next thing to do is to lock the control once the launch is in process. So it's no longer reading control once the launch is in process. So I need to have like is launching. You're back, welcome Jack. Welcome Jack, welcome back, Jeffrey. Put the J in the wrong place there. But we have a power and release process now, which is good. Get this man some Jack Daniels. Oh, I'd love some Jack Daniels. I haven't had Jack Daniels for ages. I was drinking Jack Daniels since I was 17, which of course in the UK is not legal. But responsibly drinking it in the safety of responsible people. I used to drink a lot of Jack Daniels. Yeah, I switched from Jack Daniels to rum, but I still enjoy Jack Daniels. I'm Romanian. 90% of the population quits drinking at 18. When I was 16, it was legal here. Oh, they upped it to 18 when I was 20. Oh, so you just managed to sort of enjoy the lower age. Like, there's I've seen some pretty good arguments for keeping it at 16 in some countries, because people who drink at 16 don't have any additional responsibilities. Like, you can't necessarily drive in everywhere when you're 16. So drinking and driving is not a thing, because you end up to learn how to drink first before you learn how to drive. And you go, I know I'm responsible with drinking now. Now that's out of the way, I can learn to drive and be responsible with driving. And then you don't end up mixing the two. But in the UK, you drive when you're 17, you drink when you're 18 legally. But there's people drinking at 17 and learning to drive when they're 17, potentially even passing their test. So a lot of young drink drivers. But let's not say there's a lot of old drink drivers as well, because they think, I'm old enough, I've got experience, I can drink, I can still do this. So age isn't really a factor. But I do know they say, if you start drinking younger, you respect alcohol, you understand alcohol, you understand how you react to alcohol, and you're less likely to kind of go crazy, because you go, I waited so long to drink, I'm going to drink everything. You're still young enough not to even want to go down that route. Okay. So let's limit the powering up here. So once we launch rock, we don't want it to do this anymore. So we want probably a launching. So I'm happy with how it's working. So we can delete some other things now. So when it's launching the rock, we want a launching. And while it's launching, we don't want to take input. Not sure what the percent is in UK, but here limit is 0 on breathalyzer. It used to be higher, but I think we're pretty much at 0 now. Like, I think At one stage, it was. I think you could get away with like drinking 2 units of alcohol. You used to be able to get away with drinking 2 units of alcohol and still driving. I think they've reduced it down to 0 now. They say, well, you can't realistically drink any alcohol and drive, which is the best option. You guarantee no alcohol, no issue. Rather than go, well, some people can process alcohol quicker than others, so they can drink, but those ones can't. It's all down to perspective and how fast they process it, and only the breathalyzer can tell how much is in your system when you're driving. So it becomes a very treacherous minefield. You can't eat vinegar with your salad and then drive. Oh, because I suppose if it's got like any alcoholic content to it, it'll set it off. Yeah. You don't consider these things, but I'm pretty sure it's not 0. For us, it's not 0 on the breathalyzer, but it's pretty low. We do have a limit, so you can have some alcohol in your system, but near enough next to 0. So maybe you had a drink like 2 hours ago, and it's nearly left your system, and it's pretty much untraceable, but there is a small trace. You're fine. But if you only just had a drink and it's still fresh in your system, no, it's not going to work. But I just avoid doing it altogether. Just the safest way to approach it. Legally, you can't drive 24 hours after drinking. Wow. I suppose, yeah, it's still in the blood. And you have to be 0. Yeah, I know in the UK you can get away with drinking earlier and then driving later. Because if you do get anything on the breathalyzer, it's going to be so small. But the general advice is just pretend that it's a 0% and just work with that. That's the only way to be sure. Not sure what dickheads made that law though, because if someone's actually driving drunk, they're breaking world records here. Yeah, I know of people that would quite happily like neck a drink and then immediately start driving. Go, it's just not worth it. Like even for your own safety, let alone everyone else's. I'm very thankful that I process alcohol pretty quickly, so I can enjoy a drink earlier in an evening, and then drink like 2 or 3 soft drinks across the space of a few more hours, and be confident that I'll blow low enough on the breathalyzer. But I don't really drink that much at all. Like, as I say, I enjoy drinking Jack Daniels, I enjoy drinking rum, but I only do so if I'm not going anywhere else that day. Like, I'm at home or I'm at a friend's place and I'm not planning to leave the friend's place. I'm like sleeping there, then, or walking home, then I'll quite happily enjoy some spirit. Now, how do we do this? So we've got reticle. I think if we measure where the reticle is, or we have because we got launch rock, so we can probably read, actually. You can read off. Go to definition. Got send rock, launch rock, reset rock location. I can probably read off. if the rock has been reset, and then will allow me to go again. Spirit cocktails are fun because you can have a drink with 8% ABV. That's neon pink. That sounds cool. I've got into drinking more cocktails recently, as in like the past couple of years, because you might as well have fun with these things. Enjoy different flavors. Like something I've never really drank until the last couple of years is gin. I never really used to drink gin, and then I realised there's so many different flavours of gin and experiences with gin that I can actually enjoy gin. I've only had like cheap gin and go, I don't like gin. And I still want to try Uneva at some point. He's back. Welcome back, Lisa. But you already... did you already buy what Uno told you to? I think so. Hopefully it's the right thing. New and ex-alcoholic who only drank pink gin. It's very specific. Pink gin's quite nice. Good. See, Uno's top salesman. Select rock. Yeah, let's do a get function. He replaced alcoholism with snorting crack in Discord voice chat with camera. Oh, that's definitely a downgrade, I'd say. Yeah, I think some people have like what they refer to as addictive personalities, that they're constantly needing something, either to kind of escape from where they are mentally, or sort of to kind of help with their mental health. And sort of they just go from one thing to another, and they don't, without getting the professional help, they just kind of need to keep having stuff that potentially destroy their lives, just to get by. Not sure if the bloke's still alive. But yeah, it's something that hey Nix, thanks for the hearts. Something that will kind of shorten your lifespan. I haven't heard a thing of him in 2 years. Well, hopefully he's doing okay. Sort of whatever they're doing, and hopefully they're getting the help they need. Good to see you, Nix. How are you? Thought I'd wear a shirt today. It's 2 sizes too big, but that makes it very nice to wear. I think I need a variable. Phone, something hit ground. Baggy clothes are fun. Yeah, I'm always a fan of baggy clothes, considering I'm quite a big guy. Like I'm over 6 foot. I'm like 6'2" inches. I can't think what that is in centimeters. Might have to do some conversion. But yeah, and I'm quite a big guy generally. 185. That sounds about right, actually, Dina. So I've got massive shoulders and I'm tall. Finding baggy clothes is basically a jackpot for someone my size. So I enjoy them when I can. Like baggy jeans, baggy shirts. Basically going for like the 1990s skater alternative kind of look. Despite being way too old for that sort of stuff. I'm 5'10", 0.85. Oh, they're still pretty tall. Yeah, I've always liked the skater rocker alternative kind of look. I don't like to go with trends. Like if it's the latest trend of fashion, I go, ugh. I don't want to look like that. I want to be comfortable first and foremost. And baggy clothing is comfortable. So looking alternative and comfortable is a double win. Thrown is false. If thrown is false, then set rock active. Launched is true. So we have a launched is true. Launched is true. Thrown is false. I like the Dying Light viral look. Dying Light. I know of Dying Light. I can't think of what the viral look is. You mean like the actual zombies? That kind of viral. Yeah, okay. I can't imagine what that looks like. Why have I got that freeze position, freeze rotation? So reset rock location. Hit something ground, timer, ground. Set object false. A lot of this stuff here I could probably refactor, but it's been written over such a long period of time. It's just easier not to touch it. Sprinting clothes, respirator, and a loss of blood. It's certainly a look. Send rock, launch false. Okay. Add force. Launch rock. Okay, launched. So I need to get launched. Launched is a private boolean. Yes, so I need to do a get on that. So public boolean is launched. And then return launched. So that means I can get whatever launched is from somewhere else now. I want to scare the old people in the morning bus while also keeping myself safe. That could also be both things at the same time, depending how violent the old people are. If you can scare them, then you keep yourself doubly safe. Is launched. Is it in there? It is. Old people here are really old. Okay. So the kind of place where they just kind of keep going. So we could go if RL if is launched, then actually if not is launched. If not is launched, then check to see if the key has been held down. Then that should stop me from actually continuing to do stuff while I'm launching it. My high school has more students than my village has citizens. Oh, they come. I suppose if they come from all around outside the village, I suppose. That would make sense. That's crazy that they all kind of come into to your high school. Study in the nearby city. Ah, that makes sense. So yeah, you travel into near city. City has 1 million population. Wow, yeah. That makes sense. Yeah, you actually travel to a bigger place. Of course that is. So that does work in some ways, but as soon as that rock leaves the trebuchet, it gives the control back. So I really do need something that where the rock is reset is when it gives the control back. So that's not bad. Not bad. So maybe I need to adjust that slightly. I think another pandemic would just leave the village basically empty. Yeah, I think a lot of places only just survived. So launch is false. So I wonder if we just set launch false when we reset. Will it break anything if we just move this? Comment that out there and put it here. Going to bed, I've got hell tomorrow. Good night, thank you for streaming. Okie dokie, thank you Dealer for being here. It's always good to chat to you as always. Have a good rest. Hope tomorrow goes well. But it's not as bad as it might feel. But yeah, thank you for being here. I'll see you all on Friday if you're about. Let's give this a test now. We've moved launch false to there. So when it resets, then it's set to false. We're getting there. Oh, it's gone past 10 o'clock. So we're streaming for 10 minutes short of 2 hours. Oh, I think, wait, oh, the rock has gone crazy. That is not supposed to happen. What's going on? Yeah, maybe I broke it. Okay, so that thing I moved had a very real function. I feel I could probably have a special feature that uses this, but yeah, it's basically it just keeps applying a motion to it. And because the rock keeps turning while it does it, it's effectively orbiting. Kind of cool in some ways, but not my intended feature. The rock has established its own form of gravity. It's not the kind of physics I was planning to put in the game. Yeah, so let's put that code back how I found it. So there's another good reason for commenting something rather than deleting it, because I can now put that back. So we do need another variable. Probably rock reset maybe. Let's call it just rock reset. Launched. There isn't a rock reset. Let's make a private boolean rock reset. And set that to false. Rather than is launched, we'll do a public boolean is reset. Return rock reset. So when we launch it, we're actually saying rock reset is false because it's no longer in its resting position. And when we reset it is when we actually set it to false. Oh, to true, shall I say. So rock is reset is true, but we set it to false when we launch it. It's just there. So it's no longer reset, we're sending it. So is launched won't actually help us. So rather than is launched, go is reset, and rather than not, take the not off it. So go if it has reset, then check. Let's try that. I did enjoy the weird physics thing there, but it's not the intention of the game. Ah. Okay. It needs to start off as true, doesn't it? Of course, because it is reset. To start with, it's been reset. It's not gone anywhere. Let's try again. Cool. I can't do anything until the rock is back in my hands. That speeds things up a bit now. Okay, I'm happy with that. So that's that mechanic done. Not sure if there's any other mechanics then. Probably need to work with the on-screen controls. Actually have the click where it says launch, do the same thing as the spacebar now. But I can do that next stream on Friday. Well, I'm pretty happy with that though. Got your left and your right, hold to power up. I don't think there's anything else then. It's just do the artwork for the buttons, main menu art, like the title screen kind of thing, and then make a level 2, level 3, add extra mechanics. But I think the core mechanics are in there. Gotta say goodbye now? Okie doke, I'll be wrapping the stream up now anyway. But thank you for being here. I'm tired, yeah. Don't blame you. We'll talk soon. Yeah, I'll get the file sent over to you. And we'll talk on Saturday. And we'll get you back up to speed. But thank you for being here. Hope you have a good night. And I'll switch over to my other camera because I'm happy with the progress we've made tonight. And yeah, next stream will be on Friday. I'm also going to go now, very tired. Of course, thank you for being here, Lisa. Hope you have a good rest. I shall see you all on Friday. More game dev stuff then. Hopefully, yeah, hopefully we'll have this ready to start building more levels. Have a good night. See you on Friday. Yes, indeed. Enjoy the rest of your week. Enjoy Friday. Well, see you on Friday. Have a good night. And I shall see you all there. Have a good night. Good night.